I think we can get started. Hey everyone, welcome to our demo day. This is Adam from ArkStream Capital. It's around 2 weeks from Christmas. Merry Christmas, and thank you all for coming. So today we have 10 projects. They're gonna show their demo, and we have around like 200 institutions all around the world, from Asia, from Europe, and from United States. So it'd be a great opportunity for founders and venture capital to communicate. So to begin with, we Smrtilab and ArkStream Capital will introduce ourselves respectively. So Bowen, there you go.
Hello, everyone. This is Bowen from Smrtilab, a crypto hedge fund with 150 million asset under management at the moment, which we're both focusing on primary market and public market investment for growth stage network, mass adoption ready, and value accruing public goods token. So I started out working investment in crypto back in 2017 from Zhen Fund, which is one of the most successful early stage investment funds in China. My co-founder and I've been trying and testing investing in protocols, DApp, DeFi, and NFT since 2017. And throughout the past 5 years, we have invested, tested, played around, and API in more than 100 projects. So by the end of 2017, I co-founded DDEX with the funding from Zhen Fund and Gary Tan from Initialize Capital and Alex Ohana from Reddit. As a founder myself, like I knew how hard it is to get the first 100 clients to onboard and how to pivot when the things doesn't work out. By the end of 2018, it was like the bottom of the last bear cycle. I remember Ethereum was $80 and Bitcoin was $3,000, and it was very hard time for me. Like there's no trading volumes, there's only like 100 active users per day, and there's no like investors actually care about like cryptos after the ICO bubble burst from the 2017-2018 cycle. But I was lucky enough to get to know a group of DeFi founders to collaborate on new ideas, and we started out market making for DYDX leverage token. We make market for MakerDAO single collateral DAI, and we working on WBTC to bring this BTC exposure ERC20 form. So the trial we did seems not profitable at the time, turns out to be very beneficial to us in the long term. And during the DeFi summer 2021, actually I switched my role from a founder to an investor. And last year, kind of like almost the same times as FTX collapse, I met with Alan in Singapore while we were talking about this idea to actually make a Y Combinator for crypto and Web3. So like we want to invite our like portfolio founders and also potential investors to get to know each other in a more relaxing setting. So here we are. We spent the past months actually just to prepare the demo day, and we intend to keep on doing it next year. So the purpose of the demo day is very simple. Actually, it's 3 points. We want to introduce like ambitious founders to get to know each other, actually make friends. And second is that we want to introduce product and protocol for builders to build money Lego on top of each one and actually get really constructive feedback on the products, straightforward, no bullshit, and sometimes maybe harsh. And also we just want to introduce investors to get to know the founders before they actually do a fundraising. So last but not least, like we are still actively investing. Yesterday, a founder was asking me like, when was the last time deployed? I said it's like 12 hours ago because we are still buying Ethereum. And for the past 12 months, we invested in 30 projects from Smrtilab, and we look forward to working with the next category defining founders to shape the future narrative for NFT, DID, DeFi, on-chain game bridge between Web2 and Web3. And hopefully the crypto is our oyster. And in conclusion, I want to thank everyone to come, especially folks from the West Coast, and please enjoy the demo day.
Hey everyone, this is Alan, founding partner at ArkStream Capital. It's great to hold this demo day with my great friend Bowen and Smrtilab. I still remember in 2017 when I first joined this industry, crypto is still a very small place, but right now it's already the fastest growing fintech industry globally. And that's why today's demo day is so special, because We not only have guests from Web3 industries like Dragonfly, Wonkex, and Multicoin, but also mainstream VCs like Sequoia, SoftBank, and Tiger, and also like Web3 departments from internet giants like Google, Tencent. So it's a great welcome to have everyone here. I'm now in Singapore, and last month when I first went to AVCJ, so AVCJ is one of the largest GP and LP events, I met one very famous traditional VC who have just invested in FTX but lost all his money. So he said he doesn't believe in crypto anymore. But the truth is, FTX solvency is the most typical fraud in the decentralized world. We saw similar things happening like Enron, like Bearston and Raymond Brothers. And however, we didn't see any of the decentralized finance crash down in the past 12 months. So all Compound, IF, Uniswap are running healthy. As we can see, the DEX dominance increased by 60%, I think, 60% after the crisis. We firmly believe that this robust decentralization will keep us moving forward in the next 5 years. So a little background about ArkStream Capital. So we started in 2017. We're a group of people, of Web3 native people with background from technology and finance, like Google, Tencent, and BlackRock, and early backer of more than 80 projects, including IVE, Polkadot, Flow, The Graph, and Republic. We accelerate our portfolio with from 0 to 1 product market strategy and a global growth network. So embracing the trend of the massive user adoption to Web3, we're most focusing on the Web 2.5 space, so which are narratives that drive massive user adoption and protocols that largely lower the user entrance. So we at Smrtilab, we're very thrilled to have our 10 early stages project today. Each founder, we're gonna have 5 minutes to share about what they're building and who they are. So now I'm gonna pass my screen to the first project, Mirror World.
Well, Mirror World is a Web3 mobile infrastructure product for crypto project focused on cross-platform development. And I want to introduce Chris to join us to present. So Chris, here you are. It seems like you're not, it looks like you're unmuted, but okay, perfect. I can hear you now.
All right, sorry about that. I was just saying that glad to be the first presenter of today, and thank you for the warm intro, Bowen and Alan. And thank you guys for co-hosting this. So I'll keep it concise due to the time constraint, but let's start with a vision of what is Mirror World. Mirror World is a full stack Web3 app development platform that helps developers deploy, grow, and monetize applications. We are mobile first in the sense that we package our solutions towards the mobile applications as well as the mobile developers, and we're backed by such individuals. As you can see, we are mainly trying to solve 3 problems. And we started as a Web3 publishing platform that worked on multiple casual games, but really found our niche when we received a lot of inbound interest for the systems that we were developing to solve our own problems. To sum it up, though, the 3 problems that we're solving on the vertical side is 1, onboarding. So essentially getting your user, all types of users, including Web2 and Web3 into your crypto app is really a hassle to set up over and over again on mobile applications. During this day and age, the status quo is something like Magic Link and Web3 Auth. There are 2 problems with these solutions. Mainly, one is the price, and their pricing based on monthly active users does not align with developer interest because we're not generating revenue from these end users. And 2, essentially, is that they're not user-friendly for mobile development as well as packaged SDKs for cross-platform development. The second problem that we see after you solve the onboarding issue is the conversion issue. So what do I mean by that? A lot of projects actually launch their assets on something like Magic Eden or OpenSea at this current moment, or at least in the bull run, and they saw demand for that in the bull run. But as we know, by looking at Blur's takeover of OpenSea's market share, which is a trading first platform for NFTs, we saw that these conversions are not as high in the bear market. As well, these audiences are investors, speculators, and they're not as loyal to the games themselves. So for consumer applications to grow a loyal following, you need to be monetizing directly through your application. And you use the application first, and then you buy the NFT or the crypto, instead of buy crypto first and NFT first, and then play the game or use the application. So we allow for a Shopify-like experience to set up your internal marketplace. And the third problem that we cover is on-ramp coverage for geographic locations. So for example, we were using MoonPay, but we had to talk to MoonPay every 3 months because they were so slow, and they only covered 160 credit card payment countries, while our Southeast Asian customers using Gcash for mobile payments were not satisfied. So what is our solution? Our solution is pretty simply put 3 sectors. 1, a free and embedded social authentication. 2, a non-custodial wallet with global on-ramp. And 3, a smart marketplace that acts like an embedded Shopify experience for you to set up your market really, really easily as a developer. And all of these solutions kind of packaged in since our product launched 3 months ago, we were able to onboard 460 indie game developers as well as studio projects, and 250 of those are actively building with our APIs already for the past 3 months. Just in case you can't see, we're growing at around 60% month over month for project creations, and average function calls per project is also growing at 60% month over month. So our progress so far has mainly entailing multi-chain with all language supports, and we're one of the top 5 weekly product launches of the past month, actually in October when we relaunched our stack. We started with Solana mainnet, but we also have EVM mainnet live now. And the team, as a background, came from various sources as well as expertise. So I myself came from ByteDance. We have expertise and CTO from EA, Dropbox, NetEase, and so forth. So we're really pushing the frontier of mobile and consumer application in Web3, and that's what we're here to do. So thank you so much for the time, and hope you enjoy the rest of the demo day.
Okay. Thank you so much, Chris, for the introduction. And let's welcome the second project, which is Auki Labs. And Auki Labs has a really cool demo to show. So Auki Labs has, Auki Labs basically is build the first SDK to create social augmented reality experience for people to create and interact with virtual worlds and objects in reality. And here you go, and Boris and Nils.
All right, so let me pull up my slides here. Can you guys see my my screen?
Yeah, and we can hear you clearly. Perfect.
All right, so I'm gonna start by just blasting through a couple of slides really quickly. I won't bore you because we'll be giving you a live demo that I think you will find a lot more interesting. As we were very kindly introduced, we work on positioning technology related to shared augmented reality. We believe that augmented reality is fundamentally uninteresting unless we can inhabit the AR world together. Basically, things like AR fashion will never take off unless other people can see what it is you're wearing. Virtual items will never be popular unless other people can see what you're doing. But there's a problem. Shared AR experiences require much better location services than GPS can ever in the universe allow for. You see, GPS technology requires line of sight. It will never work indoors. This live demo that or not live, this recorded demo you're seeing on the left here would literally be impossible to do with a GPS, where you can see these two girls can track the movement of these planets together in real time in the same coordinate system. So this was made using our technology. But I figure, hey, enough bullshit. Let's start by giving you an actual demo. And I thought the first thing we would do is play a game of Floorcraft, maybe. So I have a little racing game here. You need to stop sharing. I need to stop sharing so my friend can share instead. I'm going to stop sharing. There we go. And JB is going to screen share instead. See if we can get JB up. All right. All right. So JB is now sharing live from his phone. And what we are going to do is we're going to play a little game.
I'm going to spawn in a little car here. And I'm going to reveal this code to JB so he can come in. And now we're playing together. Just like that. When I drive, JB can see me chase him down. And we're playing this together. And we did this. We managed to calibrate into this without knowing anything about the environment in advance. We had no prior 3D scans. So I know what you might be thinking. So what is this? Is this for games? No, no, no. This is for everything. I want to show you something that very few people have seen. Let us imagine that I'm not home. I'm not home. As you can see, I'm not here. But JB, my friend, he wants to borrow some of my camping equipment. So he's going to sign in to this little access point that I left in my home, download this app, and he's going to scan in to the access point. Here we go. Now scan into the access point. Now that he's done that, he can see that I left my wireless speaker for him right here. I left my camping lights for him right here. I can ask him to please water my bonsai tree if it's dry. And I can tell him to leave my Warhammer collection, leave my Warhammer collection alone. So, of course, he scanned off a QR code. You've seen that before. What if he had entered somewhere else? Can we have more than one QR code? Yes, we can. JB is going to quit his app. And this time, he's going to scan in from another one that I've placed right here. So, of course, we're doing this in my small apartment in Hong Kong, but this could just as well be a big shopping mall or something like this. Let's see if JB can get in. And here he can see where I left the ukulele for him. So he can pick up the ukulele. Now he has the speaker, he has the camping lights, he has all of this thing. So I'm sure you're wondering now, how hard was this to set up? So I thought I'd show you live just how easy it is. I have another one of these QR codes here. I guess we can see this through JB's camera. And I'm going to add this to my space. I'm going to put it here. And I'm going to map it into my space. And all I have to do is I'm going to go into my little admin app, Lightkeeper, here. And I'm going to scan one of the QR codes that already exists. So I can calibrate into the space and we know where it is. And then I will calibrate this one in, report post. There we go. This QR code is now a part of the space. So if JB kills the app again and opens up, and this time JB is going to calibrate off of this QR code that we just added. You just saw me do this. See if we can do this live. He scans it. Boom. Let's see if our stuff is here.
I need to get better. There we go.
No?
No.
Well, almost. We almost stuck the landing. All right. Sorry that the last part of this demo didn't work, but we showed you how it's supposed to work. The demo, we set this up just before this call. So these QR codes, we just put them up just before the call. I created these notes just before the call, and this is done in a completely privacy-preserving way. Auki Labs has no 3D copy of what this apartment looks like. No data about what this apartment looks like is stored anywhere. And this takes minutes to set up in a grocery store, in a mall, at a subway station. And next year, we're releasing this spatial annotations app targeted at retail, hoping to reach 50,000 retail stores by the end of 2026, because it's very easy to set up. I will yield the rest of my time. Thank you for watching this demo. You can find me at nils@aukilabs.com, and we'll show you the last part of the demo. Thank you very much.
Well, Niels, thank you so much for the trial, actually. And just like most of the successful company, when they're in a demo day, they always have this kind of like a little bit clunky during the demo. Okay, next, the third project we have today is Clique, which is an identical oracle that brings Web2 user behavior and identity data to Web3. And let's welcome Kevin.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for the intro, Bowen. Let me share my screen. Yeah,
So at Clique, we're building this new type of identity middleware called identity oracles, where we're building these to import basically Web2 user behavior data and identity data into different Web3 ecosystems. So right now, a primary problem we're facing in Web3 is that it lacks consistent identity infrastructure across different chains, right? So all chains, you don't really have any credible user reputation system. There's very poor cyber resistance. So you often, like, your protocols get overrun by bots, right? And then, like, for protocols, they often don't have very precise incentive distribution, which means that you're overdrawing your cash flows in the future, right? By like giving out all these tokens to like a bunch of airdrop hunters. And then of course, you have a lot of very speculative behaviors that are not backed by any actual value generating activities, which in most cases are still located in the Web2 world right now. So that's why we're building Clique. We're building these like identity oracles that allow, basically we have a standardized and then composable way of allowing users to prove the provenance of their Web2 behavior and identity data across different platforms, perform like certain computation there, whether in a privacy preserving way or not, and then bring them into different on-chain data oracles or like off-chain data oracles and identity vehicles like DID systems, right? So you can have data, for example, from social media platforms like Twitter or Discord or Instagram, YouTube, etc. You can also have data across different gaming platforms like Dota, LOL, Valorant, etc. And then for certain like DeFi or like permissionless like onboarding use cases, you can have data from different KYC platforms as well as like fintech platforms there, right? And then our identity oracles will perform the computation there and then use different signers to connect this data into different data vehicles. Say like it's an on-chain oracle action trigger, it can be like into SBTs on-chain. It can also be verifiable credential under a DID system. So our social oracles right now are primarily focused on producing this kind of like behavior analytics based on a user's influence, loyalty, and then contribution across the platforms that are listed here, right? So for Twitter data, for example, we can check a user's engagement with your accounts, as well as like the average number of impressions that they're creating there, as well as like there's a bunch of pipelines with designed to help you to identify your users' influence across different communities and then the likelihoods of these people being bots. Same thing for Discord data, the quality of the messages they're sending in a particular channel, as well as the quality of the interactions there. So we're also in collaboration with a lot of like, say, Hollywood agencies and creators in terms of designing more sustainable social pipeline, more sustainable social pipelines for them, with like, say, data from their users' YouTube channels, their users like Instagram engagement and Spotify engagement, etc. For our gaming oracles, we're primarily focused at trying to validate each particular user's lifetime value versus the amount of, like, say, cost per acquisition you'd have for this user when you're distributing incentives to them, right? So we're trying to help gamify projects and then distributors to distribute these incentives in a more targeted way. So oftentimes we would analyze a user's purchasing power, their skill sets, as well as their potential commitment to a type of games, based on their past behavior data across platforms like Steam, Tracker.gg, Dota 2, League of Legends, Apex Legends, Valorant, etc. There are also like first-person shooting games like CSGO, PUBG, and then a number of other pipelines that we're supporting right now. And then finally, a huge chunk of our pipelines are built around these privacy-preserving pipelines, where we have a very composable system designed for different trust assumptions for particular use cases that a user would adopt, right? So we're in collaboration with some exchanges, for example, to help them to do like these ZK KYC SBTs, where you can have on-chain range proofs that host a privacy-preserving statement about, say, your particular KYC identity statements, like, say, your age or your nationality, etc. We allow users to perform privacy-preserving airdrops as well, where you can use private addresses to claim, say, to claim like certain rewards based on your group assignment. And then we also have oracles that are being put into a trusted enclave environment, as well as under a MPC environment, where you can have these privacy-preserving and confidential computation directly, and then potentially generate a zero-knowledge proof directly in a TE environment or in your browser front end, really, with a MPC setup. well, like you have both the provenance of the data, the integrity being assured, as well as like the confidentiality for these pipelines. So for these particular use cases, we're mostly focused on the fintech platforms like Plate, or these KYC platforms like SumSub or Jumio, etc. This is our previous list of investors for our seed round. And then, yeah, we have a number of we have a number of very established partners at this stage. So tomorrow we're actually hosting a space with Optimism as one of their early like collaborators on their attestation station, which you can deem as a on-chain DID system basically. So for their retroactive funding program, we alongside Gitcoin Passport and then Guild.xyz, we would be providing like attestations for individual users from these like different off-chain sources. And then we have a similar collaboration with Polygon ID there as well. There's a we're very deep in the Lens ecosystem, collaborating with Favor and then helping them to distribute a lot of incentives like Lens handles across different users. Yeah, and I mean these are just like a bunch of partners we're running right now. And previously we're being incubated by Stanford Blockchain Accelerator, as well as Alliance that was shown in the last page. Yeah. As for the team, so I was a math and CS major at Duke. My co-founder Jaden was a finance major at NUS, and then previously running a bunch of like NFT campaigns there as well. So we have a very balanced out team there in terms of finding very I guess like grounded business use cases with the amazing tech based on cryptography that we have right now. Yeah, that's the end of my presentation. Yeah, you can reach me at the following channels.
And connecting with each other, we will have, you can contact with the project and founders through that doc sent. And thank you so much, Kevin, for the presentation. And let's welcome LiveArtX, Boris and Adam. LiveArtX is the leading Web3 platform in art and culture market segment, powered by a global art database and AI-driven art market analytics. And here you go, Boris.
Thank you very much. And thank you, ArkStream and Smrtilab for organizing this. Appreciate it. So LiveArt is the Web3 platform for art and culture. And there are three main things that set us apart. The fact that we play exclusively in the premium art and culture market segment. The fact that our platform supports the leading trading in both physical and digital art. And the fact that we are relentlessly quantitative, powered by a proprietary global art database and AI-driven art market analytics. So those are the three things to keep in mind as we go through this. The market that we are addressing is enormous and it's growing rapidly. So traditionally, art is a $2 trillion asset class, traditional art with a trading volume of about $65 billion. And the art market is in the middle of two simultaneous fundamental transformations. Number one, it's rapidly shifting online, as you can see here. And number two, Web3 is totally disrupting the market by shifting the market dynamics from gatekeepers like galleries, dealers, auctions to creators and IP holders, and also by bringing new consumers into the art market. So what all of this means is that this is a really breakthrough moment for art and culture as it pertains to its digital manifestations. And so to us, coming from the art world, this is all incredibly exciting. So who are we? LiveArt is a team of builders. We are seasoned entrepreneurs who collectively have built 11 companies. We are based in New York, London, Madrid, and Hong Kong. But what really sets us apart is that from other Web3 projects is that our roots are in the art world. The founding team has been in leadership roles at the world's largest art businesses. You can see here, Sotheby's, Christie's, Phillips, etc. And over the years, we have built an enormous network of leading artists, creators, and collectors, all of whom we have brought to LiveArt. So why have we brought this all-star team together? Well, here's why. Because as I mentioned, art is an enormous $2 trillion asset class that is not currently tokenized. And because LiveArt has this unparalleled access to top artists, top collectors, and top art institutions. Therefore, our mission is, really an enormous business opportunity that it reflects, is to bring brands, creators, and communities into Web3 with art. So how have we done so far? Well, in our first year of operations, LiveArt has become one of the top 5% of art businesses globally by sales. It is a decentralized peer-to-peer trading platform for art, a first of its kind in the industry. It's powered by a global art database and AI-driven market analytics based on over 10 million records of past transactions, and it's updated in real time whenever art is sold anywhere in the world. Our trading floor sells artworks valued at over 100,000 USD each on average, and it's growing rapidly. It's really the premium part of the market. The LiveArt mobile app is now the most widely used mobile app among art professionals worldwide, and we are truly global with users from over 130 countries. So, and when it comes to digital art, we bring Web3 technology and top quality art content together. Our tech is this white labeled Web3 platform, which lets any creator or brand quickly create Web3 projects and integrate them with their existing Web2 e-commerce infrastructure. And we have built a community over 1 million collectors around this platform. And complementing this platform is the top quality art that we bring to our collaborations. This art content comes from the network of artists, collectors, museums, art institutions that we have built over the years, and we currently have a pipeline of almost $200 million of such projects that we are working through over the last 12 months. So one example of such project that is currently ongoing is Metamorphic by Huang Yuxing, who is one of the most in-demand contemporary artists working today, with works selling for millions of dollars at auction. This is a multi-chapter drop that takes its holders on a journey through the most prominent themes in the artist's works, and its design is entirely Web3 native, presented as a generative collection, an on-chain algorithmic aggregation with built-in gamification, etc. So the results, it's really one of the most beautiful examples of really an example of live art bringing a leading traditional artist to Web3. So we have engaged the community of about 500,000 NFT buyers, including 30 alpha communities and a network of distribution partners like Magic Eden, BNB Chain, and so on. The first chapter sold out in under a minute. We brought in 1,300 ETH in the primary sale, setting the all-time record for the artist. And we have developed, as I mentioned, the pipeline of about 200 million of projects like this one, which we are bringing to market over the next 12 months. And finally, let me just mention our art token, which is an integral component of the LiveArt ecosystem. Through recent private placement, it is backed by the leading Web3 investors and crypto exchanges, including Binance, Animoca, Hashkey, OKX, KuCoin, and of course, ArkStream. And our vision for the art token is the membership and loyalty program that powers our entire ecosystem of partners, connecting the audiences of the top galleries, top artists, top art institutions. And finally, the money. We have raised about $10 million in equity, and our last round was the token round led by Binance and Animoca, as I mentioned. We are currently raising a $5 million convertible note with 4-to-1 equity warrants. This round is led by Samsung Ventures and Hashkey. There's a little bit of room left in the round for investors who are aligned with our mission and are able to add value, so please talk to us. And thank you very much for the opportunity to present. This is my email contact information, but of course also available on WhatsApp, Telegram, Discord, etc., Twitter.
Okay.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And let's welcome the next project, which is Curio. Curio is a creative on-chain gaming studio and doing all sorts of on-chain gaming at the moment. And let's welcome Ija to give us a presentation demo.
Hey guys, I'm Ija and I'm co-founder of Curio Research. Can you just give me a quick thumb up if you can see my screen?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Awesome. So yeah, love to introduce Curio. So we're a creative studio pioneering fully on-chain games. And today I'll just tell you a bit about why putting game logic we think is the right move for blockchain games and how Curio is positioned to lead in this nascent field. So we've seen an explosion of Web 2.5 games in the past 1.5 years with elements of DeFi NFTs. At the core, however, we believe that these games are a traditional game patched with multiple tokens, and as a result, they suffer from a level of unhealthy speculation. Even the market leader Axie is bleeding players throughout 2022. This has raised the question internally, what can crypto truly change about the core of gaming? this is where Curio comes in. At Curio, we want to, in addition to store player assets on-chain, we also register the entire game state and logic on the open blockchain. And our mission is to create game mechanisms and player interactions nowhere to be found in traditional games. By doing this, we see ourselves as part of a long tradition to empower players in worlds they engage in. So one of the biggest benefits, you may ask why putting logic on chain, right? What is the biggest benefit of putting logic on chain? We believe that it's the spontaneous player interactions, a change where players actually become creators. So in traditional games, player interactions that affect gameplay are often hard-coded, meaning players are often handicapped in their interaction with others. So in Civilization 6, for example, as much as I'm a huge fan of the game, there are no ways for players to exchange armies, let alone more complex dynamics. And all the policy cards are pre-written by Sid Meier's team and shipped with the game. So this applies to a lot of Web 2.5 games like Axie as well. In a smart contract powered world like Curios, on the other hand, players can interact in whatever way they like. For example, in an alliance or treaty or trade embargo. They may collateralize their general NFTs for more troops or spin up a new resource type as an ERC20. And such emergent player social dynamics could not be predicted by the game developer, but thanks to the EVM or just the blockchain in general, we're now able to let players tinker with these novel modes of interactions. And when we embrace the principle that players can be creators, what we're really doing is expanding the so-called magic circle of gaming, and sky's the limit for what can come next. So the first game we're building is doing exactly that. It's a fully on-chain 4X strategy game inspired by great games like Hearts of Iron and Clash of Clans. We believe that the 4X genre really heightens the tension of high-risk, high-reward PvP gameplay, which is quite compatible with crypto as assets are involved. To build this, we've engineered in the past few months our own fully on-chain game engine, which involves entity component system, which is a structure storing game data, and many other cool pieces of technology. In July, we shipped a demo, and within 4 weeks, we had more than 4,000 unique addresses sending over 130,000 transactions. And people went pretty crazy over the demo, and then also the October playtest we had in San Francisco. This is barely the beginning for a greater movement. And that's because strategy games alone with reshufflings of game loops and skins are a $25 billion market growing at almost 9% every year. And blockchain games which truly expand the magic circle are what these strategy gamers have been looking for all along. Here's our founding team. We're currently a team of 4, and by the end of summer, we closed our seed round with Bain Capital and TCG leading, and many wonderful angels participating, including Robert at Compound, Tarun at Gauntlet, Dan at Farcaster, and many more. And of course, we're a proud portfolio company of Smrtilab as well. Since then, we've made good progress on the game and expect to ship in mid-2023. We are not currently raising at the moment, so we either keep in touch for the next round or we're hiring for these couple roles and we need and love recommendations. We also need help on many other fronts, such as how do we create and construct the core narrative for on-chain games? How do we make a smooth marketplace for people to trade items on, etc. Love to have a chat with you if you find any of these interesting or if you care about shaping the next decade of gaming. Thank you all very much.
Ija for joining us, and also Ija is a Paradigm Fellow, and he's still one of. Let's introduce Magpie Protocol, which is a cross-chain liquidity aggregator, which is a 1 inch for cross-chain liquidity. And here you go, Sebastian.
Hi there. Yes, hi there. I'm not part of the Magpie team. I'm part of the Saxon team. The Saxon are the lead advisors to Magpie on this round, the rounds they've done in the past, and any rounds they'll do in the future. Ali unfortunately had pharyngitis, and so if he was on the call today, you probably wouldn't be able to hear him very well. So I thought I'd step in at last minute just to deliver the pitch. So in terms of Magpie, put simply, we're swapping assets efficiently between any chain. Now, in terms of the problem that we have here, while DeFi has grown significantly over the last couple of years, liquidity has progressively become fragmented between different L1s and L2s, and the solutions created to solve this problem, i.e. bridges, have proven to be difficult to use, slow, inefficient, and in some notable cases, they've posed a serious security risk. We're making cross-chain swaps faster and more efficient. Magpie is being built to abstract away the complexities of cross-chain asset movement by aggregating DEXs, bridge liquidity, and presenting the optimal route for the user that can be executed in a single transaction. Magpie is a multi-chain liquidity aggregator that enables seamless cross-chain swaps with near instant finality in a one-click swap experience. The thesis of Magpie, as you can see on the screen here, it's 4 quite simple pillars: low latency in terms of the fast response time of APIs, fast execution, low cost, higher order throughput. And these are the qualities that we're optimizing for. In terms of how we use bridges, rather than bridges being our front of office, there are back office. And if we had more time, today, I'd go into detail about exactly how that works and how it's different from just using, say, a bridged solution. So this makes Magpie the best solution for business. In terms of the time savings for a retail user, it's not the end of the world if they get their quote in a minute or 30 seconds rather than getting it in a couple of seconds. But for businesses who are doing large scale transactions, who want to know the quote immediately, maybe they're doing many large scale transactions, those differences do matter. So the 4 things that we're aiming for, the 4 types of businesses that we're aiming for, at least in the initial stages, are institutions and traders, wallet apps and DEXs, NFT marketplaces, and Web3 projects. In terms of where we are at the moment with our developments, we're going through a public alpha as we speak, and there's a waitlist. The waitlist which we started accepting vetted applications for back in August time. We thought by January we'd be very lucky if we got, say, 10 or 15, but we've been blown away with the growth that we've had. As you can see on the screen here, we've got 28,500 people on our alpha testing waitlist. Our social media numbers that you can see here, our Twitters, our Discords, our newsletters, our Telegram have all blown up, and we see no signs that they're slowing in light of recent market events. Just in the last week, you can see here, we've onboarded an additional 2,000, roughly 600 users, transferred $700,000 worth of volume, and done nearly 3,500 swaps. So the alpha is going fantastically. I'd love to show you what that looks like now. I do hope you can see the screen. If I start playing it now and you can't see the screen, I hope someone would interrupt me, but I will assume that you can see it. It's only about a minute. So we'll choose the network that we're going from. In this case, we're going to go from Avalanche. We're going to pick our token on the Avalanche blockchain, say USDC, I think we're going to pick, and then the network that we're going to move from. So this will be from Avalanche to the BSC network, and we're going to change it to Cake. As you can see here, we put in the value and we're going to get an instant quote. So that is not the case with our competitors. You do have to wait to get those quotes. And every time we changed it from 100 to 50 to 100, our quotes came back. We'll go ahead with the swap, just as you do with bridges. And then you can see here, we're going through the process of processing the swap. In just a couple of seconds here, we'll have something that we can look at, which will give us more detail about how the swap is going. We split it into 3 processes: verifying the cross-chain data transfer, receiving the bridge funds, and then executing the swap out. I'll just fast forward for the sake of time about 20 seconds until we have that confirmation that the bridge funds have been received. Here we are, boom. And then finally, we're waiting for the swap to be executed. Once that's done, we've received our cake. Now, a couple of things that I point out here. One, in terms of the time it takes to get a quote, also in terms of the price. That's far above what our competitors are doing. Some of the competitors you might have heard of, Li-Fi, Socket, who were able to raise a slightly higher amount of money than we have at the moment, but our tech fundamentals are in a much better place. We would say, perhaps we're biased, but we would certainly say we're doing much better. In terms of where we are at the moment, we've completed our seed round. We're in our strategic round at the moment, although we expect that that'll either be completed before Christmas or sometime in the new year, obviously taking into account that things are going to slow down because of Christmas. Some of the things that we've got coming up outside of the raise, as you can see on the screen. If you'd like to get more involved and you're thinking of investing, then you can reach out to myself, which is at Sebastian Cheek on Telegram, or the Telegram that you see on the screen of Ali, the founder. Currently, we're backed by ArkStream, Jump, GSR, PowerFi, Republic, and many, many more. I think I'm coming to the end of my time, so I will hand over to the next person. But thank you very much to everyone at ArkStream for making this possible.
Thank you so much, Sebastian. You actually have another minute, and thanks for the time. Let's see a solution platform with an incentive mechanism for readers, curators, and creators. And let's welcome Troy to join us today.
Hi, everyone. My name is Troy, the co-founder of ReadOn. So ReadOn is a Web2 compatible content platform that is designed to be composable and permissionless. So we have three major functions. First, we will build a cross-platform solution for creators to manage their content. And secondly, we will aggregate all kinds of user interactions like comments, like, share, following from different sources into an open on-chain data center. So with the on-chain data, we will build a decentralized distribution engine. So ReadOn is not just an app, but also a backbone infrastructure for the next generation of blogs, news, and forums. The core idea of our solution is to break down the life cycle of content into three components. That is creation, consumption, and engagement. For the creation part, just like ERC 721 for NFTs, we propose a scalable schema for content. We call it content contract, which is stored on Arweave for permanent storage. Right now, we have created almost like 100,000 pieces of content on Arweave. And ReadOn is designed to be Web2 compatible from day one. With a novel solution, we will build a bridge, a seamless bridge for content from Web2 to Web3. So Web2 users on Twitter and Medium, they can use our tools to migrate to Web3 in a natural way. So for the content consumers, it is a fundamental question to prove that they have actually read and consumed content. Thanks to the recent progress of AI-based technology, everyone is talking about like ChatGPT, and then we are actually using that. We have successfully integrated OpenAI and ChatGPT into our system and automatically generated reading comprehension questions and answers for each article on ReadOn. So it will be a natural, scalable, and open solution for proof of read. You can actually experience the web showcase on our website. The link is showed here. So for the tokenomics around ReadOn, ReadOn will give rewards for both readers and content creators. For creators, it is straightforward as they deliver a high quality content to the network. For readers, the reason they could actually earn the tokens is that they contribute important information about the quality of the content directly from their reading behavior. In addition, we introduce an important role, promoters. The other promoters of other Web3 projects, like New GameFi project, New DeFi project, and Anyimprov project like has been demoed today here. They are actually the ultimate engine to power of tokenomics. We provide two major promotion solutions for them: a topic grant promotion, a topic grant program, and a promotional content program. For the grant program, the promoters, they can set up grants to encourage content creators to write about their projects. On the other hand, the promoters will need to pay the end users if they use their data for targeting, which is the most crucial component in online advertising. So this external value brought by promoters is the key to finishing the cycle of our tokenomics. We started building ReadOn around June this year, and we have won the Community Choice Award in Solana Riptide Hackathon, and we also won the first place in Arweave Web3 Info Hackathon. We have already built up a pretty active community here. We released a soulbound token we call Soul Car with 30,000 SBT minted. It was ranked as top 2 on Arbitron minting list during the campaign. The mobile app was released publicly pretty soon, just 2 weeks back, and we have done 2 months of alpha testing with that. You can try it out. On the Apple Store and Google Play. And a quick intro about our team. Neil, and the other co-founder of ReadOn, he's the product director of Qitoutiao, which is the largest play-to-earn product in China with 30 million DAU at its peak. My name is Troy. Before I joined ReadOn, I worked at Pinterest and ByteDance in Bay Area. I was engine manager of TikTok as network team. And Mike, he's one of my classmates from CMU, and he was a co-founder of BuzzBreak, a news aggregator app with 10 million users in Southeast Asia. So we are a team with extended experience in content and social products, and we know how the growth works as a consumer-facing app. So we want to build up a showcase that a Web3 app can be useful apart from its financial utility, it can still have a large DAU as a Web2 app does. So we believe a content-related application could probably be the best shot here. So this is what about us. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Troy. Thanks for the introduction of ReadOn. And let's welcome the next project. Is a chain and the UEM compatible facility building. So in plain English is that they're the one of the only layer one actually have the omni chain integration with Bitcoin network. Right.
Cool. Yeah. Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Perfect.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you for the intro and thank you for joining. Appreciate everyone's time. I'm Brandon, working on ZetaChain. And yeah, to start, I guess it's pretty obvious today, and as mentioned before, that multi-chain is here to stay. A lot of new L1s have popped up over the past couple of years. And yeah, they have their place in the ecosystem. And we've also seen over the past couple of years develop kind of let more interoperability in the ecosystem been restrictive. The UX issues and just the general hurdles you have to hop through, and even security risk just make a lot of new users and even existing crypto natives averse to trying a lot of new products in crypto. So ZetaChain is the only public decentralized blockchain and smart contract platform that's built from day one for interoperability. So it's built on Tendermint and proof of stake. It uses something called TSS to be able to write in a decentralized manner to external chains as if it were just a hot wallet on that chain. One cool thing is, regardless of what the interaction is, whether you're just doing a cross-chain swap or doing something with multiple inputs and outputs, it can be a single-step transaction. So a user can just connect their MetaMask or whatever wallet on a given chain and just sign a transaction, and the logic can live on ZetaChain and orchestrate whatever it needs to output on another chain, same chain, whatever. And another piece is that with our messaging system, you can transfer a native value, kind of pegging against our native token Zeta. So you don't have to create a wrapped token on the destination. So kind of eradicates the need for that wrapped vault architecture that was the culprit or the, I guess, vulnerability of a lot of the hacks you've seen over the past few years, things like Wormhole, et cetera. And yeah, overall, the two features we support, messaging and omni-chain smart contracts, are a complete toolkit for developers to build pretty much anything omni-chain. So messaging, similar to some things you might see in the ecosystem right now, like Layer 0, Axler. It's a very simple API. All you have to do is implement send, receive, and handling reverts, and you can add cross-chain messaging to an existing smart contract on existing external chains. And then omni-chain smart contracts are EVM compatible contracts that you can deploy on ZetaChain, but they can orchestrate assets on external chains, including non-smart contract chains like Bitcoin, Dogecoin, all in a single place. So you can think of it like async for messaging and synchronous as if everything were on one chain with omni-chain smart contracts. We launched a testnet v2 with Bitcoin support in mid-November, and we have gotten around 700K testnet users just playing with the network, performing over or close to 3 million cross-chain transactions, and working with a number of pretty exciting partnerships to be announced as we get to mainnet. Over 100 dApps deployed on our testnet. This is kind of where we are. We launched our Bitcoin support and omni-chain smart contract support in our testnet recently, and are gearing up for a mainnet launch in Q1, Q2 of next year, paired with some pretty exciting partnership dApp launches. And beyond that, we'll be working to expand our developer ecosystem, grant programs, expanding the network, both in decentralization and scalability, as well as more omni-chain smart contract features. If you want to build with us, happy to provide resources, technical support, anything like that. And you can also check out our social Discord as well. Have a lot of fun and exciting stuff coming through those too.
We are on the last project, which is Orbit Markets. And this is after the Genesis and FTX collapse. And right now we are mainly trading with Orbit at the moment. So this is one of the counterparty we use and we trust. And I want to introduce Jimmy to all of you. So Jimmy, you are muted.
Sorry, is that okay now?
Okay, everything is good. Everything's good.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for having me here. This is Jimmy from Orbit. Well, this year has been a turbulent year for the industry. Exchanges, DeFi, NFT, almost everything has seen sharp declines, except one rare bright spot, options. Options have proved to be quite resilient. Actually, some of areas of option market are still growing. As the crypto market matures and institutionalizes, its products have evolved from basic instruments like spot to more complex derivatives. It's not very difficult to actually infer from evolutionary paths of traditional finance that next killer products are options and structured products. In TradFi, options generated as much revenues as spot, but in crypto, options volume is actually less than 3%. So seeing the potential, major exchanges have all launched options this year. CeFi platforms have added structured products, and the VC have invested in over 50 option-related DeFi projects. The ecosystem is booming, but is missing one important player, that is competent liquidity provider and market makers. Without option market makers, there will be no liquidity on exchanges, on CeFi platforms, or on DeFi option vaults. It's exactly in this context that Orbit was born. So Orbit is an institutional liquidity provider focusing on options and structured products, founded by a team of former executives of Deutsche Bank's FX trading business and backed by Matrixport, Brevan Howard Digital. Orbit brings its expert know-how in options to crypto derivatives market. If market making spot is not for amateurs, market making options requires another level of technical expertise and financial engineering background. In traditional finance, the secrets of options market making are held by just a handful of top investment banks, which makes billions of revenues every year. So Orbit now brings decades of top investment banks experience to the crypto space. So headquartered in Singapore, we serve institutions looking for more sophisticated investing and hedging solutions in digital assets. Agnostic to CeFi or DeFi, on-chain or off-chain, exchange or OTC, we cover the full spectrum of institutions, and we offer the widest suite of products from simple vanilla options to bespoke exotic options. We are the only shop capable of offering some of the most innovative structured products. Bowen, you can perhaps share a testimonial later as a user of our innovative accumulator product. Structured products are just hugely profitable for the market maker and is basically a money machine for investment banks. For example, like in China, you know, the Snowball structured products, it generates billions of dollars for investment banks. And we have just launched the Snowball in crypto as well. We were so surprised that no established crypto market makers were offering structured products when we started. And we thought that we could actually do it by ourselves. So in less than 6 months, we have not only proved the concept, but we actually executed over 250 million of notionals. As investors in crypto space increasingly look for sustainable yields, especially after the collapse of Luna Terra, and they are looking for transparent strategies as well. So we have built partnership with top CeFi platforms and DeFi protocols. We work very closely with them to develop structured products that suit their specific needs. Despite the difficult year, we have seen strong revenue growth since we started operating in April, and we broke even already in September and October, and we achieved many firsts in the crypto space. As you can see here, we trade the first barrier options, basket options, and many structured products in the crypto space. We have launched many innovative products, such as impermanent loss protection, that uses options to give DeFi yield farmers a full and exact protection against impermanent loss. We just recently launched staking yield swap that allow Lido stakers to convert variable staking yield into a fixed rate, that hence allowing them to lock in the future staking yield. Coming from a TradFi background, we strive to do things properly and professionally. We hold ourselves to the highest standards as we used to in our previous management roles at investment banks. And this has clearly helped set us apart from our competitors, as our clients appreciate our professional services and products and trust us. Leveraging our experience at banks, we have built the best-in-class quantitative infrastructure for pricing and risk management, which allowed us to offer products that our competitors cannot. We use top vendors and service providers. We're currently going through the process of ISO and SOC 2 Type 2 certifications. And most importantly, we expect to obtain Singapore CMS license, which would allow us to offer not only derivatives on crypto, but also tokenized traditional assets and hybrid assets, something that Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan can still not do at this time. So after the FTX debacle, many market makers, especially in option space, have disappeared or have stepped back. This presents a great opportunity for us as we plan to expand and grab their market shares. We're looking to hire developers to accelerate our infrastructure development, and we're looking to hire sales and business development to acquire clients in the US and in Europe. If you're interested in knowing more about Orbit, please contact us via these channels. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jimmy, for the introduction. And if anyone wants to accumulate Bitcoin or Ethereum in 12 recession coming for and he will have the structure. So that's all of the project for presentation today, and we'll open up.
Hey, Bowen, you're kind of sticky at your side.
Raise hand, unmute you to speak.
Whoa. Yeah, so yeah, thank you everyone for listening, and thank you, Jimmy, thank you for all the 10 projects. For all our VC audience today, we're gonna send you a follow-up email with the demo day brochure to your registered email address, and your feedback and comments on the demo day are greatly appreciated. And feel free to let us know which projects you want to connect with. And although we are kind of running out of time, but we still have like 70 audiences online, so we're gonna have a 15-minute Q&A session. So if you have any questions to whether Bowen or me or for all the 10 founders, you can directly raise your hand and Bowen can connect your questions and the founders will answer. Okay, I think we have some. Okay, I'll connect the questions and Bowen, maybe you can pass the mic to the founders themselves. So Helen asked what type of application developers that Zeta is targeting. Zeta, do you want to answer this question?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can you guys hear me?
Brandon, yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, for what application developers we're targeting, yeah, I guess there's a wide range. So there's definitely strong need for a few DeFi primitives, things like DEX, lending, etc. But we're also looking into some pretty cool applications in social, NFT and NFTFi, as well as identity and DAO management. But in general, for the chains we support right now, Bitcoin-related applications, EVM developers could ramp up the fastest. And as we expand chain support, it'll expand to like Cosmos, things like Solana, etc. in the future.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Brandon. And also one asked about, could I have the deck of those projects? So we're gonna send the deck to your email address, which you have registered before the demo day. And anyone, if you have more questions, you can directly raise your hand. Okay, so Alex asks, may I ask what are the primary use cases for Auki Labs? Because using AR to check an object's status sounds a bit not practical. So Niels, maybe you can answer this question.
Yeah, we have people building everything from life-saving technology for first responders and defense. The ability to, for example, law enforcement to point out in 3D space exactly where an active shooter is a lot more efficient than trying to communicate that verbally. So our technology is being developed for applications now, right? Everything from defense to gaming. I believe that putting information where it needs to be in space is a very big industry, actually. You should Google how many Post-it notes are sold every year. It's several Olympic swimming pools worth of Post-it notes because we like putting information where it's supposed to go.
Thank you, Niels. Any more questions? All right. So I think, yeah, because it's very late in China and Singapore. So I think we're gonna wrap up now. So thank you everyone for joining the demo day, and thank you for all the 10 project founders from 10 projects. So we're gonna have one demo day every quarter. So I hope this gives you some more for the Christmas, and we wish to see you again in our next one. And thank you all.